Kindergarten Luck by Louise Morton, illustrated by Genevieve Godbout. One gloomy morning, Theodore found a bright, shiny penny on the way down to breakfast. There was Abraham Lincoln, face up. What luck! "Oh, thank you, Mr. Famous President," Theodore said, and he tucked that shiny new penny in his pocket. "You make the best pancakes," Theodore told Mama when she kissed him goodbye. The gloomy rain suddenly stopped, and the September sun came out. Theodore and Louisa raced each other to the bus stop on Cherry Street. Number 19 was on time, and so were they. There was Slim, Theodore's favorite bus driver, with his morning news. "I heard a rumor that next week the zoo is bringing real penguins to school." Hooray, hooray! Number 19 got really noisy until Slim hushed everyone. Then he pulled up at Riverside School, the best school in the whole world, as Theodore was always telling his friend Georgia. He counted the puffy white clouds floating over the yellow line of buses. The sky was blue, such a lucky blue. Theodore and Georgia swung their backpacks and waved to other kids who were in their class. Right away, Mr. Leland called on Theodore to show the class the day of the week and the date on the big wall calendar. And later, during writing time, Mr. Leland read Theodore's poem out loud. "Lucky little clouds, high in the sky, floating by, floating by." That's a nice little poem. At recess, Theodore swatted the tether bolt again and again and again and again and again without missing once. Wow, that's really good. His friends all cheered for him while Georgia ran off to tell Mr. Leland. Then the end of recess whistle blew. Everyone lined up to go inside, and Theodore was chosen to be the line leader. All the time he was carrying that penny, that shiny, lucky penny in his pocket. He took a quick peek at Abraham Lincoln and whispered, "Thank you, Mr. Famous President." He's having a lucky day, isn't he? After science, the class walked up the hall to the Meteor Center, quiet as kindergarten mice, and Theodore got to type his own words on a brand new computer and check out a giant book about penguins. Then Mr. Leland picked VJ and Abigail and Eduardo and Leah and Theodore to help Miss Walker, the art teacher, hang the kindergarten's Matisse pictures in the school lobby. The principal strolled out of the office and said the paintings were so jazzy that she was going to show them off at the Riverside Family Night the next week. Then Mrs. Cooper, the school secretary, announced on the loudspeaker that the students in grade 3 were going to meet in the gym to practice their special welcome song for family night. On the way back to the kindergarten room, Theodore walked slowly as a turtle so he could wave to Louisa, because she was a 3rd grader. And that's why Theodore knew the words to the song too. Later in math, when Mr. Leland showed the class how to add numbers, Theodore reached into his left pocket to check. He gulped a big gulp. Where was his? But then Theodore remembered. He put the penny in his right pocket. When Mr. Leland asked the class how many puppies were in a litter of 1 puppy plus 6 puppies, Theodore raised his hand and said, 7. The Riverside buzzer rang at 3:25 p.m., and there was Theodore's bus, good old number 19, revving its engine ready to take the students home. Theodore couldn't wait to tell Slim about the wonderful things that had happened to him today. He sat in the row behind Slim's driver's seat, and he showed Slim his penguin book, and they talked about the luck in the world and how sometimes it's just waiting for you to find it. When number 19 rumbled up Cherry Street and Slim put on the brakes, Theodore took his Lincoln penny out of his right pocket and held it for a moment, thinking. Then, quiet as a mouse, Theodore slid his penny face up on the floor next to Slim's seat. Louisa and Theodore got off at the corner and waved goodbye. He's winking. Why is Theodore winking? I think he's winking because he's doing something kind of clever to help someone else have a good day. The September sun was still shining, the sky was still blue, and there were little white clouds to watch. The day hadn't been gloomy after all. Theodore had found his own luck in a shiny penny, enough to give to a friend, and enough for tomorrow too. The end.